Baraka Day Salah to all Muslim faithfuls. Good morning. This is TMI Socials. I am Anuoluwapo Stevens, your social media butterfly. Now, over the weekend, it was Finidi George versus Victor Osimhen. As you know, football lovers were just dragging all over social media. Quickly moving over to how it all started. But anyway, to let you know that Finidi George has finally resigned from his position as the head coach of the Super Eagles. Now, this is coming days after the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, announced moves to bring a foreign technical advisor. Well, his exit was announced by former Eagles media officer Toyin on his X account. Now, George was appointed after Jose Peseiro's contract ended in February, having served as his assistant for 20 months. Well, during his brief tenure, the former Enyimba boss oversaw a 1-1 draw with South Africa and a 2-1 defeat to Benin Republic, both in the 2026 World Cup Qualifying series. And of course, this sparked reactions on socials. But before we move over to the reaction, here's a video of the Super Eagles, head coach, or the former coach, Finidi George, when he was in his prime days. Take a look.
And now here's Finidi George, and the goalkeeper has been chipped and comprehensively beaten. That's a gem of a goal from Finidi George.
Yeah, that was Finidi George during his glory days. Moving over to your reactions on socials. Right, let's see how you reacted. Well, this user says this news of Finidi resignation is well deserving. He needs to go and get his proven track record and a whole lot of things said there. Away from that now to another reaction real quickly. This guy says, why did it take him that long? No tactics, no strategy, no player management, and a whole lot of things he also said in this particular reaction. Another thought on this still. This user says, what is wrong appointing Samson Siasia as the coach, considering his track record of performance, or appointing Emmanuel Amunike as the coach? I hope Finidi George is not just, a conduit pipe to steal enough money from NFF. His performance so far has been shambolic. I am not impressed at all, he says. And then another reaction still on this one. This guy says Nigeria's team gradually become like Man United, with many spoiled kids and player power on the high. It's really sad that Finidi is trying to make a difference, but everyone is bullying him because of their spoiled favorite player. When our eyes go soon clear. Now, speaking about the spoiled favorite player, Victor Osimhen was, had an outburst on social media where he says, and I quote, that he has lost respect for the former Enyimba coach, and he said a whole lot of things over the weekend. Let's quickly listen to him word for word.
I don't ever address anything or whatsoever. You understand? I don't get type of nonsense talk. Do you understand? I get injury. Our last match we play against Lecce, I get injury. The last minute, I get injury. You understand? I get injury for my ankle. And I call, and immediately, I go Germany. I go see my PK. You understand? So I go do MRI, in which I get the video, I get the picture of everything. Because I know, say, things like this go happen. I am not dumb. You understand? I know, say, things like this go stop. I know for sure. You get. Immediately I do the MRI. The next day, the doctor called me. I go in office, and then they talk to me. So I call Finidi. Immediately, I call Finidi.
Now, in that 4-minute live video on Saturday, he was really super angry, resulted to curses, both from his Benin dialect down to the Yoruba, where he was just bad balls all over social media. And of course, this has, generated reactions online. Let's move over to how you've been reacting to this one on socials. This guy says, it's obvious Finidi lacks the needed leadership skill to coach the national team. Osimhen's patriotism is not in doubt. We all saw it during the AFCON. Another thought still on this story. Malam says, this is unprofessional. He wouldn't mess like this in Europe. Talking about how Victor Osimhen reacted. Calvin says, Osimhen has always played his heart out for the team. Finidi has just been looking for who to blame instead of his naive football tactics. One more thought on this one. This guy says, Coach, we talk say he no need formation to win games. Now that one will not take serious. Personally, they are. Well, moving over to another story, away from Finidi George versus Victor Osimhen, there was an actress who also trended some time ago, last week, talking about Chinwe Splendor. Now, she has come out to say that the university she graduated from had asked her to return the certificate issued to her after she claimed that while in school, she usually did not attend classes, but she slept with lecturers in exchange for grades. Can you imagine that? Well, in an interview on YouTube, she actually went ahead to say she had to go to the streets to fend for herself, you know, and then that resulted in her missing classes. And she was later advised that she needs to graduate properly. So she ended up sleeping with her lecturers to get good grades, and she brought it over on a podcast show to cast herself. Let's listen to Chinwe for a bit.
I attended sent me an email to return my certificate within 48 hours. I want to ask, is this right? That certificate, I earned it. I worked hard for it. Why should I return it? They sent me an email to return a certificate I worked so hard for. Okay. Open on like that, then I know so many of my course mates that will return their own. I know so many of my course mates that will return their own certificate. I'm really going through a lot.
Indeed, quite a very, very hardworking girl. Let's move over to your thought on the story. Okay, now MC Makolo Paul Warren says, return the certificate, then go meet the lecturer. Make him return whatever you give him. Another thought still, Zelia says, you cast yourself on podcast. Now you're being castigated and you want to cast your friends too, and he's laughing out loud there. Still on the story, it's obvious you didn't actually attend classes. If to say you get sense, you for no spill that nonsense. Come on, go and return the certificate of CISO in their Igbo dialect there. Well, interestingly, that's how we get to wrap up TMI Socials this morning. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again tomorrow. Have yourself a great day.